Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Fix Morning Show. I'm Tony T. We're going to give you picks here from the Tuesday card. What we'll cover today will be picks from college football, the entire NBA card. We'll pick some games from college basketball, as well as the NHL card here today. We're going to introduce the cappers, and we'll get right to the picks. That's how we operate here on the Tony Fix Morning Show. We don't mess around here. Let's say hello to Rod. Rod, what's happening?
No, not too much, Tony. No, that's how you start a week. Definitely a great day yesterday. Can't complain with a nice 11-1 day to start the week. As we've said many times, definitely on days when I find stuff that's good, I will be a high volume guy. Dived into all the sports yesterday. College basketball was great. 5-0 there. NBA was good. NHL went 1-1. NFL, look at the Dolphins playing some defense. What it is that Rams offensive line definitely still not 100% healthy, and we dial up some blitzes and make them have to put some pressures and see what happens. And that Rams offensive line still not 100%, and we can see what happens there in that one. Dolphins keep their season alive a little. I think they got to win out. At 3-6, I think you almost got to win out. And maybe get some help. So not completely dead yet, but we'll see how it goes there.
Yeah, with that extra wild card, maybe an 8-9 might get you in more than before, but we'll see how that. And they add that 17th game. We'll see how that rolls here. We'll say hello to Jorge. Jorge, what's happening? You've been cranking here of late. We see you on the leaderboards.
Yeah, I got a little husky trying to catch up to Rod though. So I'll see if I can go 11-1. But talking about the Dolphins, I said watch everybody be on the Rams. Everything I read was pro Rams, this pro Rams that. They're drafting of their defense, all that stuff was true. But really, at the end of the day, it's like the Dolphins just were banged up, man. Everybody's got injuries, and their back was against the wall. I mean, that was it. That's totally the end of their season. I mean, their season's over anyways, but they can go on a run when 5 games in a row and they potentially get there. But that Rams team's just a hard one to figure out right now. I think they'll gradually get better. Banged up on their offensive line, but man, I like the college basketball card. I've been diving into all these teams. My goal is to read up at least the summary on all 300 teams and see how they're playing. And the numbers are way off, man. The odds makers are guessing. What do they got? I mean, I'm looking up the information. With the NIL, with the turnover, they're guessing. You just got to try to find a side to jump on. From what I'm seeing so far, I think the totals are really a spot to go. And I'm going to be putting up quite a few of them over the next few days.
Yeah, exactly right. This new college basketball season here. We're going to have some good matchups tonight here. Marquee teams going head-to-head with changes there in the coaching ranks. And we'll talk a little more as we get into some of these games. We'll say hello to Chris. Chris, what's happening?
Oh, not much. Coming off a pretty decent day. Went 1-1, dropped my NFL. I was on the Rams with everybody else, or most people, not Rod. Shout out to him. Looked at the leaderboard, man. That's awesome. But I did get my NBA play of the day with the Nets, who just squeaked by there. I came right down to the last second there. Super excited about the NBA Cup today, and I got a lot of coverage on that on the site and everything, so we're ready to go.
Yeah, NBA Cup ready to roll here. Of course, I was 1-1. I had the Clips. Clips just got there. They just got there. Got there late there. Not much to spend there. We'll see how it rolls here with no Chet in the lineup. They continue covering games on the road and missed with the Rams. So we'll see how we roll today with it on the Tuesday card. So let's get underway here with the Tony Fix Morning Show. We got action. It's November, so you know what November means on this midweek. It's action. So let's cover the action today. We got Central Michigan and Toledo. We're seeing here Toledo 14.5, total 51.5. Western Michigan, Bowling Green. We've got Western Michigan here. Bowling Green 8, total 58, 8.5 in some spots as well. Ball State, Buffalo Bulls 4. There's 3.5 in some spots, total 54.5. We start with Rock.
Yeah, looking at Central Mich taking on Toledo. Central Mich, at the start of the season, I think they might have battled and kept this close, but not now. I'm going to sing the Rocket Man because he's going to take off today and run right over Central Michigan. Central Michigan on the road, yikes. I mean, lucky to score 14 points themselves. Toledo will easily cruise into either the high 30s or right into the 40s and blow out Central Mich. I'll lay the 14.5 with Toledo. They are the better team there in that one. And Central Mich just going to give it up. And then looking at Western Michigan taking on Bowling Green. Looking at what Western Michigan does defensively, and it's not going to stop Bowling Green. They might slow them up a little bit and keep the total down, because at 60, I think that total is way too high. We see what Western Michigan did last week, and they just didn't score enough against Northern Illinois. And you can't score enough here against this Bowling Green defense, who is third in the MAC. I think they keep their spot third in the MAC. I think Western Michigan goes down. Yesterday, I thought it was too many points. I don't think so. I think Bowling Green is the better team. I think Western Michigan's starting to tail off. And defensively, I just don't think they're going to be able to slow up Bowling Green. I'd lay it with Bowling Green. I also like the under. Can't believe that thing just keeps a rise. They're not going to be that high scoring. I think the under.
Yeah, from Rod, we move on over to Jorge.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest thing for Central Michigan is they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
The starting quarterback's out, their backup's out. All they can do is run the ball. Toledo's best program in the MAC. I mean, it has been over the last decade. They just can't find a way to get themselves in a position to get into a bowl game. They're going to do it again this year. Team total over with Toledo in that one. You're going to not see much offense coming out of Central Michigan in that spot. And I know there's a log jam at the top of the MAC. There's 4 teams tied for first place. So you're going to see national TV at home. Definitely take that one. Jumping over to that Bowling Green game. Western Michigan's a fraud. They only scored 14 points against Wisconsin, lost 14-28, blown out by Ohio State 56-0. Only scored 20 points against Marshall, and then they come in and they beat up Ball State, Akron, Buffalo, and Kent State, and then they lose 42-28 against Northern Illinois. Bowling Green, best defense in the MAC, hung tough with Penn State, Texas A&M. And really have shut down all the offenses in the MAC, averaging just 16 points a game, like Rod was mentioning. That defense is stellar. You cannot throw the ball on them. Last game, Central Michigan, 6 for 14, 63 yards. Yeah, it was a quarterback issue, but Kent State didn't do much better either. So they have a super secondary. Take the team total under for Western Michigan.
There from Jorge. Just to give the weather here, no precipitation, just chilly temperatures. We should be seeing temperatures around 40 degrees, light winds in all locations here. We'll move on over to Chris.
Yeah, I'll agree with them on the total for Western Michigan. I mean, you look at it, and Bowling Green is 6-3 to the under. So I definitely look under that 60. And then, I don't know, take a shot with Ball State. They said, they're 6-3 to covering the spread in their last 6 games. So I'd take a shot with Ball State there.
Chris, I'll tell you what I think about these games. Yeah, I'm going to look here at Toledo late. There will be the 4th stringer. They're benching the 3rd stringer for this game. So the 4th stringer goes in here for the Chippewas today. And I'm going to go here with Toledo. I know Central Michigan, boy, 1-9 the spread on the road against the MAC. That's pretty rough there. So I'll go ahead and lay it here with Toledo. Yeah, I'm going to take the points here with Western Michigan. Bowling Green has not been good rolling as the favorite at home. 1-3 the spread at home when favored between 3.5 and 10 points. Broncos to get the job done covering spreads on the road against the MAC. 8-2 to the spread against the MAC there, as we're looking here at this Western Michigan team in action here against the MAC. Put up some really good offense, but defensively they're giving up 8.9 yards per pass attempt. That's against MAC opponents. So I am able to just kind of run the numbers when they face their conference foes. But 4.5 yards allowed per rush, 8.9 yards per pass attempt against the MAC, and I'll take the points there with Western Michigan. Ball State and Buffalo, I'm going to go over the total in this game. The weather's okay. It's chilly weather, but not the wind that we thought. The Bulls 2-0 the over at home, following a bye week. And, boy, this Ball State team, an efficient passing attack, averaging 331 yards passing, 10.5 yards per pass attempt this year. Buffalo throwing the ball here for 7.3 yards per pass attempt. And we have both defenses that struggle here against the pass, so I'll look for the over in that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Sports Show. We'll turn our attention to the NBA as we talk about the NBA Cup starts tonight as they try to work their way onto Vegas. So we'll not see the NBA. We'll knock them 2 at a time. We'll begin here with the Hawks and Celtics. The Hawks going to be dogs here. Trae Young's out. There's a laundry list of players out for Atlanta. Boston, a 15.5, total 225. Heat and Pistons. Heat on the road, 1.5, total 214.5. We start with Rod.
Yeah, look at Atlanta and Boston. Boston wants to win this whole in-season tournament. They'll have their numbers circled. So at 15, that's too light. I think they win by 20 plus. It'd be hammer down for the Celtics there in that one. And no Trae Young, even better. Boston wins by 20. I'll lay the 15 there with the Celtics in that one. They don't want to lose in that first round of this tournament. They're all about it. They're out to make a statement. There's a few Boston guys that got dissed in the Olympics, and they definitely hold a bee in their bonnet and definitely hold a grudge. So I got to lay with the Celtics there in that one to blow them up. And the Heat in Detroit, it's like I can make a case for in that one, but I'm going to go with the under 214.5. I think we have a lower scoring one. First to 100 wins that one. To the under 214.5 there.
Yeah, for Marlon, just keep an eye here on some of these injuries here. I know Butler at last check was out here for this Miami Heat team. So Butler will be out here for the Heat. We do have Thompson and Klitman out here for Detroit, but the big guy here, Duran, still is questionable for Detroit. Atlanta side, as we said, there's a laundry list here, not only Young, but you've got Hunter, Bufkin, Bogdanovich out as far as even more rotational bench guys. On the Celtics side, we know Porzingis is out, but we have a questionable statuses here for Tatum, Horford, and Springer there in that one. All right, we'll move on over to Jorge.
Thompson is going to be back for Detroit. They're not sure how many minutes he's going to get in the rotation, but he's finally been cleared. I read last night. Miami's coming out of that Minnesota game. They've lost a couple, and just from the sounds of what they were talking and that defensive battle, it seems like they might get their identity going, playing some defense. And Miami always does that. You think they're done and over, and the dynasty's over, and they go on this run, and it's always defense. They just clamp down on whoever playing, and the role players step up. So definitely like the under in that one. The Celtics. Man, 15 points is a lot on any level, man. I mean, I think it's one guy off, and how fired up can you be to play the Hawks? They don't play any defense. You could take the whole game off. And
$1 million fired up.
Hey, Tatum can go 0 for 14. Tatum can go 0 for 14 any given night.
Big pile of cash.
When you have that night, man, it's just like, is this dude fixing the game or what?
when they're dangling a big pile of money in front of you,
the bag.
Rod, he's old school. He's
$1
got
million. Hell yeah!
Yeah,
but Boston is very good in the first half, guys. One thing they do is they come out and take care of business early. They can tail off a little bit at the end, and they just go deeper into their bench, right? You get everybody in there, and they yank up a lot of threes. When you yank up a lot of threes, you have a little bit of an off night. You're not going to cover big spreads. It's the only concern. But so I think they'll come out a little bit crisp in the first half. I'd be more than happy to lay even 10 in the first half as opposed to 15 in the second.
Then hurry on over to Chris.
Yeah, I know Tatum's questionable in this, but I mean, this type of game, I think that's just one thing they do. It's kind of like the day-to-day type stuff that different players do. But I think in this type of situation where it's a playoff environment and stuff, he's definitely going to play, in my opinion. I mean, I can't say for certain, but I'd go with the over. I know they didn't get us the over the last time they played, but this time the Boston Celtics, they like to come out. They like to do all this stuff where they're going to run up the score, make a statement. I mean, it's against the Hawks. They're going to have to still face other teams that are way better than the Hawks. So with this one, I think they come out and just put it on them, run up the score to kind of make a statement. They're going after the cup. But on the Detroit-Miami one, I mean, it's basically 50-50 at this point with 1.5. So I'm just going to take the points with the Pistons since plus the points. I don't know. I do think we see a lower scoring game in that one, though. So that's kind of where I lean.
All right. Let's continue here on Tony Picks a Morning Show. Let's see here. Let me get rid of this idiot from the chat room. All right, let's continue on. I'm going to be looking here at the over here with Atlanta and Boston. Atlanta plays at a very fast pace on the road this year. Also 27th in defensive efficiency, give up 120 points per 100 possessions. Celtics, they hit their threes at home. 18-11 to the over when they're favored big by double digits or greater. We'll look here at Atlanta and Boston over the total. Boy, in this Miami and Detroit game, Duran is an important guy down low against this Miami team. I don't know what his status is questionable. I'm going to look and take Miami in this spot. It's just the fact that the Detroit just struggles to shoot the basketball at home. We're looking here 32% from three, giving up 38% from the stripe. I'll look at Miami in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Picks Morning Show. As we'll continue on here with the next couple of games from the NBA, we'll look at the Hornets Magic. We've got the Magic favorite 7.5 to 8. There's 212 is your total. Knicks and Sixers. Knicks 2.5, 3 on the road, total 211. The news here: Embiid returns to action tonight. We go over to Rod.
Well, of course, Embiid returns to action. It's the in-season tournament to try to get a couple ducats, right?
Right.
He's ready to go. I think his suspension's done. He's ready to play. He needed those few days rest, so that's why he got those suspension. Is what I think. So I think Embiid's definitely ready to go for this one. He probably had this one circled on the calendar already as his return date, but the NBA is going, hey, you can't do that. That's not how we roll here. So he did what he did. So what do I think? I'm going to lay it with 76ers. I think they come out and beat up on New York. New York's been up and down all season long. Look at their 4-5 against that number. They have a good game. They have a bad game. Good game, bad game. I think the 76ers step up in this one and outright New York. You give me 2.5. I don't need it. Give me money line. 76ers get the win there in that one. And then give me Charlotte plus the points going into Orlando. Charlotte 6-4 against the number. Hitting it 60% covering the number. That's all we need them to do. Continue to cover the spread at a 60% rate. And hey, they'll make us money this season. Give me the Charlotte Hornets plus the 7.5 there.
All right, there from Rod on over to Jorge.
Man, this Orlando team's playing some great team basketball right now. Cole Anthony, Greg Anthony's son, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He started off the season horribly, and suddenly he's getting fired up, and the rest of the team's fired up. All they've done is held New Orleans to 88 points, Washington to 94 points, and in the meantime playing extremely well rebounding, killing the boards, and hitting some shots. So I don't like to lay more than 6 points in a basketball game normally, but I just think this Orlando team is kind of peaking right now and wants to take advantage of that. But even more so on this, if you want to go for streaks, and we don't see a lot of in the NBA, it looks like Charlotte's playing some defense, and they're shooting like crap, actually. They haven't shot over 50% during this streak, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight games, 7 out of their last 8 to the under. Not shooting well outside of ball, but playing some defense. So probably the under would be the smart play there in Orlando.
From Jorge on over to Chris.
I'm going to roll with the Magic in this one. I know it's a big number, but from what I found, one of the trends I found that kind of made me lean that way is that Orlando at home favorites of 6.5 to 12 points or 12-1 against the spread. Now in their last 10 matchups against Charlotte, they're 7-3 against the spread. So like Jorge said, they're playing pretty good ball. I mean, I know Paulo's still out. That would really push me over to definitely take them, but definitely a lean to the Magic on that one. And then I don't know, Embiid or not. I don't know how he's going to be on his first one. He may have planned all this to come right back for this. So it's about 50-50 on that. I'd probably lean Sixers now that Embiid's back, just because I think he's going to try to come back out for that. But yeah, I don't know on that one with him. I didn't look at that and see that he was coming back. I had the Knicks originally to cover the spread, but we'll see how he does. He's not going to apparently play back-to-backs allegedly, so we'll see how he does in this one. He may wait till the next in-season tournament game to come back or whatever, but yeah, we'll go with the Sixers on that one.
There from Chris, I'll say what I think about these games here. Yeah, I'm going to also look here at Orlando minus the 7. Charlotte on the road here, 26 in offensive efficiency, struggling to shoot the basketball. Jorge was saying on the road, 40% overall, 32% from 3. That's pretty brutal. So far, it looks like Orlando will be okay without Banchero. You take a look at their past 2 home games, 5th in offensive efficiency, defending very well. They were not very good on the road here. So this may be a situation with Orlando without Banchero, play at home, fade on the road. So I'm going to play them here at home here with Orlando laying the 7. Charlotte 17-27 to the spread as the road dogs. So look at Orlando in that spot. The other one we had was the Knicks and the Sixers. Again, this is another team that I may look to fade at on the road and play at home. That's the New York Knicks, right? With that limited bench, with not much depth here. Boy, you look at New York's numbers on the road this season, they have not been very good. They are second to last in defensive efficiency, give up 121 points per 100 possessions. They do have a -2 net rating because they have the offense here, but you're giving up almost 49% shooting, 40% from 3 on the road. I'm going to look for Philly here in this spot at home against the New York Knicks. Let's continue here on the 26 Morning Show as we get ready for the next series of games from this NBA Cup. And day 1, Raptors and Bucks. These poor Raptors that we talked about, they start the Cup in the middle of back end of a long road trip. Boy, oh boy. Bucks 7.5, total 226. Suns and Jazz. Suns 3.5, some 4s up there, total 225. We start with Rod.
Yeah, and looking at the Suns taking on the Jazz, I'll lay it with the Suns there in that one. I think they just come to play, and it's again it's the in-season tournament, so these players get up for this spot. I'll lay the 3.5 there. It seems a little light to me.
That's because there's no Durant, Nurkic.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay, so Booker will have his day to shine in the sun, so he can go off there in that one for the Suns. So I'll still lay the 3.5 with the Suns there in that one. That's all it is. It's just one of the ball hogs just not around. So Booker, with the other ball hog, will definitely has no problem stepping up and taking all the workload on there in the Suns. We know what the Jazz have done all season long. They're surprising spots, but I don't think they're going to surprise anybody there in that spot. And then the Raptors, tough spot here for the Raptors. But what have the Bucks done? 3-7 against the number. I'll lay it with the Raptors. I think even on that long road trip, I think they still come and ball. Next man up type of thing. They've done it all season long. How can you go against them here? Normally we get a few more points than the 7.5, but I'll still take the 7.5 with the Raptors there.
Yeah, from Rod. Let's update some of the injuries here. Same guys, Achua Robinson here out for New York. Now Payne upgraded to questionable. McBride, a bench guy, questionable. Not a lot of depth on this Knicks team. They rely a lot on their starters. Philadelphia, just Maxey. Toronto, the laundry list as we've seen all season. Barnes, Brown, Olenek, Walter out. Temple is doubtful. Quickly is now questionable. On the Bucks side, Middleton and Lillard. Lillard is out here for the Bucks in this spot. Trent, Jackson, Giannis, probable. So there you go, updated on the injuries here right now for these two games. All over to Jorge.
These both very ugly games. Definitely don't think I'll be going to post any games on them. Three of the teams completely disappointing: New York, Philadelphia, Milwaukee. Toronto just trying to find their way. The only thing I can look at, neither one are playing defense that's significant in any way. 48%, 49%, 48%, 46%. Take the over, slight lean in both games.
From Jorge on over to Chris.
Yeah, as far as the Bucks Raptors game, I think we're still seeing Dame is still out. Damian Lillard.
Lillard's out.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
And then Giannis' game time decision, which once again, it's another Jason Tatum thing. I think they listed him as game time decision, but I think he plays in this type of thing. But still, with that, I don't like this Bucks team at all. So I'm going to take the Raptors and the points in that one. Just a fade of the Bucks, especially with Lillard being out. I know Giannis is in there, potentially in there, but even with Lillard in there, they haven't done all that great. So take the Raptors there with the points. And then as far as the Suns and the Jazz, I mean, just take the Suns. I mean, everybody was worried how they were going to play without KD the other day against the Kings, and they held their own. I mean, we took them to overtime, but I would still lean Suns there to take the points over the Jazz. I think that's going to be an ugly game.
There from Chris, say what I think about these. I'm going to go over in this Toronto-Milwaukee game. We look at Toronto, they're last in defensive efficiency on the road. Give 122 points per 100 possessions. They give 120 points a game on the road. Give them 49% shooting. Milwaukee can shoot the basketball at home, 49% overall, 40% from three, but it's a defense where they've been rough and they don't defend the perimeter very well. 41% they allow from beyond the arc at home. I'll look for over there. Suns and Jazz. Let's see. What do we have in this total? That's come down from this one's come down from 230 to 225. I was when I shot the video, it was down to 228. And I thought that was still too high, and still 225, a 5-point move. I'm still going to look under in this game. I don't know how you can. The Jazz are last in offensive efficiency, averaging 103 points per 100 possession. I don't know how you can make their game 230 or actually now 225. I'll still lean to the under in that one. So that takes definitely premium status out of this game with that 5-point move. It is the first road game for the Suns without Durant. We'll see how that works in this spot. But listen, Utah at home, 39% shooting, 27% from three, 98 points a game. Give me the under in that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Shimura Show. Let's wrap up the NBA with these two games. Timberwolves and Blazers. We got the T-Wolves 8.5, total 219.5. And we got the Mavericks and Warriors. We've got the Warriors 2.5, total 234. And Minnesota has a clean injury sheet. So far, Minnesota's been about the healthiest team in the NBA this year. Maybe that's what happens when you trade Cat. They have no injuries whatsoever. Portland only thigh ball hurts. On the Warriors side, just Wiggins questionable. We got Exum out for Dallas. PJ Washington, the big guy they got in the trade last year, doubtful. Lively questionable. Doncic probable. So you go, caught up here with the trades. We move on over to Rod.
Just looking to see if that line moved. I like the under in the Warriors game, but how far did it move down?
It went up.
It went up. What?
234.5 from 232.
All right, hey, you get more points. I like the under 234.5 in the Mavericks and Warriors. It's just they're going to play some defense. I can't believe that went up. That was one of the ones I was like, man, I'm going to kick myself. I don't take this overnight, but okay, it went up. You get more points. So I love the under there, 234.5. That's just too many points. These teams left to play some defense. I don't think it's going to be an all-out track meet like we've seen earlier, like recently. The way the Warriors go, I think it's more of a defensive, slower pace type game. That's what Dallas will slow it down. They don't want to play run and gun with the Warriors here. They'll have no chance. So Dallas will definitely try to slow the pace down. They don't want to play at a Curry pace for sure in that game. So I like the under 234.5 there in that one. And then looking at the other one, hey, Minnesota's healthy. Portland can barely score to 90 points these days. The way they're going, I'll just lay it with Minnesota. I think they easily win by 10 plus there over Portland.
There from Rod, and we want over to Jorge.
I think you're kind of selling the Golden State Warriors defense a little bit short there, Rod.
Wow.
They go about 10 deep, and they're one of the best defensive teams in the
But
league.
they haven't tried. That's all. They just keep trying to outscore teams right now. Here comes the defensive game. Let's see how they play defense.
They play some defense, and I agree with you, but I'm just saying their defense is a little bit stronger than
we just haven't seen it because they play track meet style right now. They're just all like, come on, let's go. We'll outrun your ass.
I like the under in that one because Golden State plays defense with 10 guys. Let's see. Back to what was the other one?
Minnesota, Portland, yeah.
Yeah, so they're healthy, but 6-4. Again, you switch up the team a little bit. Field goal percentage, 46%. I thought they'd be a little bit tougher. They're not really boarding very well. So Randall's having a little bit of a hard time meshing in there. But, they had a low-scoring game with Miami. Portland, at least they're showing up a little bit, on the defensive side of things. And they definitely hit the board. So one thing I like about Portland under Chauncey Billups is they're always trying. So you can't write them off as a team that doesn't care or doesn't play defense or it's totally horrible. He's got those young guys going out there playing every single night. So they're always good for a backdoor cover, slight lean there with Portland.
From Jorge on over to Chris.
Yeah, looking at that Minnesota-Portland game, I'm going to lay it with Minnesota. I mean, they like to beat up on Portland. They're 7-3 straight up against them, and I think it's just a blowout type win here against them to start the tournament. And then as far as the Dallas, when I was looking at that last night, since we're getting more points, I'm definitely with Rod on that. Like, let's go with the under. Dallas is 6-4 to the under in that. So, yeah, I think defense on both sides. Like you said, they're going to try to slow down this Golden State because Steph tries to play, really fast. But I'd also take the points with the Mavs too on that. But definitely the play here is the under since we're getting so many points now.
From Chris, how do you think about these games here on this Mavs Warriors game? I'm going to go ahead and lay it with the Warriors. Dallas on the road, 25th in defensive efficiency, give up nearly 120 points per 100 possessions, a minus 3.5 net rating here on the road for Dallas. Dallas on the road, giving up 49% shooting, 44% from three. Warriors defending at home. They defend on the road, and they make their threes at home. The Warriors, fourth in defensive efficiency, a plus 8.5 net rating in their home games. I'll look here at the Warriors minus in this spot. And T-Wolves and Trailblazers, yes, I'm going to continue here with this Minnesota team laying these points here against a Portland team that is 29th at home in offensive efficiency. They really can't do much scoring. And minus 16 net rating at home for this Portland team. My goodness, that's rough. Timberwolves can shoot the ball on the road, and they defend the three-point shot very well at home. On the road, I should say. Portland at home, just 43% shooting and 30% from three at home. That's brutal. I'll take Minnesota in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the 26 Morning Show as we're ready to go to college hoops. And what we're doing here this time of year with college hoops, we're just asking the cappers to give us what they got in college hoops. We'll probably go through the time slots probably sometime in December, maybe first or second week of December once we get through college football. Right, but we're just we'll ask the cappers what they got. So, Rod, college basketball tonight. Give us what you got.
Looking at college hoops tonight, there's a couple spots I like here tonight. First one, that line hasn't budged an inch, so give me Michigan State and Tom Izzo plus the points there. versus Kansas. Kansas coming to town. I think it's close. They always battle a tight in that game, and you're going to give me 5.5. I'll take the 5.5 with the Tom Izzo team there with Michigan State. I think they got a good shot to outright Kansas there in that one. We grabbed the 5.5 points there, and then I'm looking. Yeah. Ooh, that line's moved. Ooh, don't like that one anymore. I did like I like Georgia, but that line moved quite a bit. North Florida getting Georgia. I like the 10. It was at 10.5 last night. Now it's at 14. I think that might have went a touch too far. I think I'd have to lean to North Florida plus the 14 there. I like Old Dominion here. You look at Old Dominion. They started the season 0-2 against the number. Tough schedule there, but getting 4.5 here versus Radford. I like it. Give me Old Dominion plus the 4.5 in that one. And then looking down, I like Towson plus the 8 against South Carolina. This Towson team can definitely rebound. Strong, big guys there that I think they can out-rebound South Carolina there in that game. And that'll be huge to cover that number. At 8, that's just way too much. Take Towson plus the 8 there in that one. The other one I like, now you're getting Delaware plus 6. You look at Iona, and I've seen them. They covered a number in one game. Their last game, they got whooped. Absolutely whooped. They don't look good this season at all. Definitely, it looks like the Hookers of Blow have finally caught up with Iona there in that one. And give me Delaware.
Hey, easy. They're college kids, man. Take it easy.
That's what they do. No, it's Iona. You can't. Rick Pitino, you know what he does on when he was there with Iona. He's always giving them Hookers and Blow. It's just what it is on a Friday night with Rick Pitino and Iona. Hey, that's what happens. So they're still feeling a little bit hungover from Rick Pitino. Still, it's the second
Sounds like
year.
You had a fun birthday party, Ron.
Yeah, definitely birthdays are fun for that. So you got to go with Delaware plus the points there in that one. It's going to be closer. Iona does not look good this season at all there in that one. So, and then one more going. It's a later one. Where is it? Probably the big one that everybody wants to know. You're looking at Kentucky taking on Duke, right? That it opened 6.5. It went down to 6. It's down to 5. Definitely going to be a close, tight game. And you figure both teams are going to get some scoring, right? You figure a whole pile of points. It's a 160. We're going to get a track meet. Pile of points. Take the under. This is a neutral site game. They're playing in an NBA type arena. So this is going to be a lower scoring one. Defense steps up. And at 160.5. Take the under in this one. I see teams in neutral courts, and I like taking the under because they always end up being a lower scoring one. Do the under in that one tonight. Everybody's expecting that thing to fly over the total, and we sneak under the 160.5.
Yeah, for my this going played in State Farm Arena tonight in that doubleheader. We'll move on over to Jorge.
Probably the game that I should have posted last night was Rice over UL Monroe. UL Monroe has the same coach who was there. They care more about their football than basketball. Bunch of returning players that weren't very good last year. They've been horrible to start the season. Rice has a new coach. His name's slipping my mind right now, but he was over at SMU. Have been improved by 10 games. They got into the NIT, he played well, and he got fired.
Yeah, terrible firing there. Yep.
Yeah. So it's Rice's gain. He was able to recruit some players over there. Rice playing some decent. It was -8 last night. It's up to 10 right now. And that's a game that I think they're going to cover that easily. They're playing some good basketball. The recruits came in so far in the season 1-1. But UL Monroe, that could be a team that the bully betting, like I like to say, just beat up on when you get the opportunity. But the best thing about Kentucky and Duke is watching the game. And if you haven't heard of Cooper Flagg,
oh yeah,
you ain't a basketball fan. That guy is I saw him last year when he was coming up. I don't go as often as I did, but I used to work a lot around the AAU basketball team tournaments here in the summer, and saw some of him. And man, the guy's amazing. He's almost NBA ready right now. He's just flying around, can pass the ball. He's exciting to watch. So definitely that'll be a game I will be watching today.
Yes, Rob Lanier, the coach for Rice, they did cover their opener against FIU. On over to Chris.
You're looking at a couple things here. The Villanova, St. Joseph's, I'm going to roll with Villanova in that one. on the money line. I mean, they've won their last 10 games against the Atlantic Conference. And then also, I'm going to look at my Rebels from Ole Miss, and we're going to take the over. I think it's sitting at 146 at the moment, and they're 5-0 to the over. So I think that's a little bit higher scoring one there. So, yeah.
Yeah, from Chris to tell you what I think. I'm copying Rob, by the way. These games, you got a couple of them. Simple, same as Rod. I'm going to look here at Michigan State plus the points. Interesting with Ron Izzo here. I kind of read a little bit about what he did here. He's not a big transfer portal guy. He's only took in one player, and this year he took two because he realized he's not going. Yeah, he's not going deep into the tournament, and the first time, and you know these teams, they like to go to Europe, right? You can do it once every 4 years. He's in his 29-year history. Did it just once. What did he do this year? Took him to Europe. So he's changing right now. So they went to Europe. They got some chemistry because they're only bringing in one player. They got the transfers in. They got the guys that rotational guys are going to have to step up into more meaningful roles this year. And for Kansas, Self does not like this expansion here because now they got to play 20. Conference games, and you know what those conference games are like in the Big 12. Man, goodness, you had Arizona in this thing, you had Utah. It's gonna be, and Colorado's tough. So again, that Big 12 conference season is going to be BYU. That conference is going to be tough. So I don't know how much emphasis and prep they're going to put into some of these non-conference games, knowing that you've got a monster 20-game schedule in the Big 12. So I'm going to go ahead and take the plus here with Michigan State in that spot. Duke has to focus on defense this year. If they want to go deeper in the NCAA tournament, they're going to have to defend, and that's the focus for Duke this year. So I'm going to agree with Rod here on the under here with Kentucky and Duke. Devils did showcase their defense. I know these teams didn't play much, didn't play tough opponents this year, but they sit 6th in defensive efficiency after their 2 games against weak opponents. This will be the test. Wildcats did defend the 3-point shot well here in their opening 2 games as well. I will say this here about Kansas. They did give up 89 to North Carolina in their open. So they did play it. They did have a test. They went a wild one, 92-89 going back. So they'd give 89 points to that one. Going back to the first game, back to the Duke Kentucky one. Yeah, I'm going to look under here. It's Pope's first year at the school. We'll see how this works out. But again, I'm looking for Duke to really try to tighten the defense this year if they want to make deeper runs into the NCAA tournament. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. As we turn our attention here to the NHL, as we do, we'll say goodbye to Jorge. He's going to let us know what he has for sale over at Tony Spix. Heading into a big week of action. We're getting into the middle of November, and Jorge's put up some impressive numbers over at Tony Spix, as you can see here, over 24 units to profit. Jorge, what do you got for sale?
I got a 3-pack going. Inside that 3-pack, I have my MAC total of the year going. I also have one of my favorite college basketball plays to put out the track meet. So if you like high-scoring games, I got a 3-pack going. And also I'm always going to be putting up games late steam as I get some information and or numbers turn. I definitely enjoy putting up some numbers and that you email them right out to the customers. So sign up for at least a 3-day pack or longer. You get some selections emailed right to your account.
All right, guys. So for the promo code TonyT at checkout, we'll save you that 15% off. The link to the Tony Spix is in the description. All right, Jorge, it's always great having you show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks, Tony. I appreciate it. Good luck, guys. Good luck in your hockey.
Good luck. All right, it's all here on the Tony Spix Morning Show. Let's continue on as we go in the NHL. As usual, Chris and I will be spectators as Rod will cover the NHL for us tonight. All right, let's take a look at these games. We will begin here. Let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3. All right, we'll go with the Jets, Rangers here. We're seeing here the Rangers $1.23, total 6. Senators and Maple Leafs. We've got Maple Leafs $1.20, total 6. Devils and Panthers. Panthers here $1.44, total 6.5.
Yeah, and you know what? When you look at the Devils taking on the Panthers, we've seen the Devils last game. Like I said, they got goalied in that one last time out. They had 44 shots in that game against Blackwood, and Blackwood just stood on his head and turned them all aside. But when it comes to taking on Florida, it's you get that many shots against Bobrovsky, and I think you're going to get the win. So too much value there. Even books are guarding against the Devils only plus 125. You look at that one. So I think the odds should be a little higher. Florida is that much the better team, but I think in that one, I think the Devils stand up and be heard. Go with the Devils in that one. And then Jets taking on the Rangers, and should be quick in net for the Rangers there in that one. And you know what we've seen between these two teams? A whole lot of unders. We've seen 6 goals or less in 7 straight meetings head-to-head between the Jets and the Rangers. So take the under there in that one. Low-scoring one. Hellebuck, we know what he's been doing. He's well on the way to winning the Vezina again for a second straight season to the start he's having. And we know what Quick does. As a backup, he doesn't have to play a whole lot. And when he comes in there, man, he looks real good. Sub 2 goals against. This is going to be like a 2-1 game, 3-1 at best. Take the under there in that one.
All right, so let's continue here on the NHL rundown here with Rod. We will look at the Final Four here from the NHL. We've got Bruins and Blues. In this one, we've got the Bruins $1.55, total 5.5. Islanders, Oilers. Oilers, home favorites, 220, total of 6. Blue Jackets, Kraken. The Kraken, $1.65, total 6.5. Flames, Canucks. Canucks, 214, total of 6.
Yeah, and I'm looking at you look at Boston taking on St. Louis here in this spot, and you look at Boston, and they've been up and down, 50-50 club all season. Basically a 500 hockey club, 7-7 on the season. Definitely not as good as we've seen this Bruins team over the past few seasons. And they just struggle in these spots where they this season where they don't play enough games where you play one game and then you get like 3 nights off. You play a game and you get another couple nights off. Hockey players they like consistency where you play a game every couple nights. And the Blues, following a home loss, they're 7-1. So too much value here. I'm going to take a shot with St. Louis to beat Boston there in that one. And then you look Columbus on the road. They've just been awful. 117 in their last 18 on the road has been Columbus. So I'm going to take Seattle at home to get the job done. Last time we've seen Seattle at home, hey, they beat Vegas. So give me the Kraken there in that one. And then Calgary, second half of a back-to-back, happening to they got the nice win out last night for us, did Calgary. But now you got to fly into Vancouver and take on the Canucks, who are starting to turn their season around. I'm going to go with the Canucks on the puck line to beat up on Calgary there in the second half of the back-to-back spot there in that one.
And there from Rado, we got you through the NHL card for tonight. So let's take a look at the parlays peripherals from the Cappers, see what they've got on board. All right, Rod, what do you have here for us from the parlay peripheral segment?
And for me, we're going to go right to college hoops, and we're going to take 3 dogs. We're going to take Michigan State plus the points. We're going to take Delaware plus the points, and we're going to take Old Dominion plus the points. A little 3-teamer in college hoops for you.
There from Rod on over to Chris.
Yeah, we're going to go to the NBA Cup tonight. Toronto with the points, Minnesota with the points, and the over in the Atlanta-Boston game.
Okay, and I'll give you a 3-pointer here. I'm going to give you the over in the Hawks Celtics. Take the Sixers plus the 3 and go under 225.5 Suns and the Jazz NBA tonight. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Picks War Show. Let's find out what the Cappers have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Of course, Rada coming off a monster day yesterday. Of course, we're doing great work here in college football as well. It was 11-1 day yesterday. Rod, what do you have for sale over at Tony's Picks?
And over Tony's Picks, right now I got a college 3-pack going, and that's a little 3-pack in today's college basketball action. Love today's action. Starting to like college hoops. We're starting to get some numbers and stuff to work with. So we're starting to see these teams play. This is when I start to dive in, and as you see, the higher volume starts to pick up on college basketball. Now it's the time to jump aboard there. And then I got my NHL sniper play going. We crushed it with Calgary yesterday. I got another one that I absolutely love today, so definitely scoop that up. And then I got a couple plays in the NBA, so definitely jump aboard something long-term. Take advantage of any late steam plays. Crushed it that late steam play last night with Hawaii. Ooh, Hawaii is starting to look good. Playing really good hoops in Hawaii to start their year. Watch out for Hawaii. They're a team to watch late, so it was a late steam play there. When you're on something long-term, you would have got that email to you, so definitely jump aboard along with Turn Pass. Take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper promotional over at Tony's Picks. Pair me up with another one of the hot cappers, and let's have a big week. Big week loading. We had a rough week last week. It's a buy low, sell high. We're going to slowly keep riding this hot streak and crush it. So jump aboard. Don't forget Tony T at checkout. Save 15% off all your purchases over at Tony'sPicks.com.
That's right. Again, over at Tony's Picks. Let's get a look at Chris, what he's got for sale over at Tony's Picks right now. Off to a run here with NFL. What do you got for sale over at Tony's Picks?
Today I've got an NBA best bet in the NBA Cup, and then I also have a 3-pack of 3 other plays that I really liked from the card tonight. So I've got those on there, and then yeah, that's all I've got today. I didn't do any college basketball. I was mainly focused on this NBA Cup. So we've got 4 plays total at the site. Make sure you use the Tony T to save you 15% on those, and pair me up with another one of these amazing cappers. Definitely, pair me up with Rod, man. After yesterday, I couldn't. That's amazing. That's where I want to be. So, anyway, yeah, 4 plays today in the NBA. So grab them.
All right, guys, of course, over at TonySpix.com. Link in the description. Remember the promo code Tony T at checkout saves you that 15% off, and long-term passes available as well. So get on over and get signed up. Chris, over at Tony Spix. I have a best bet on the board right now, college football. Also working my NBA packages as well. So I'm a multi-pack for you as well over on the site. Again, the long-term passes, you get that 7-day pass, covers you all the NBA, all the college hoops, NFL, college football here for the next 7 days. And promo code Tony T at checkout will save you 15% off that price. Saves you money instead of paying per pick. Just get the long-term pass. That'll save you more there. All right. That'll do it for this edition of the Tony Spix Show. Let's find out what the Cappers have over on the YouTube channel as our Cappers contribute with on-demand videos. Rod, what do you have over on the Tony Spix YouTube channel today and this week?
Over at the Tony Spix YouTube channel, I got you covered on all the hockey games. If you missed one, definitely got you covered in short form today. Those are over there. Also got a little 3-team NHL parlay I like. Go check that out. Rest of the week going forward, same thing. I'll have you covered in all the hockey games going forward. And then I'll throw in some videos because I'm going to miss the rundown show and the NFL show this week. I'll definitely throw some videos out there covering some college football and some NFL for you going forward this week. And then I'm probably going to dive in and deep dive a few college basketball videos for you as well going forward, because we're starting to get some numbers. So I love college hoops. I just love college sports altogether. They seems that younger athletes don't have that same distraction of the money issue as professional athletes do. It's just I find in college they have more drive and oomph, and you get that 150% on nights, and every night they come to play. It's not just some nights they come to play. So love college sports. Definitely watch out for the videos there, and definitely look at all the other content that's coming from all the other cappers here at Tony's Space. It's good to see that volume increase. I know Chris is doing a good job. He's getting a little more comfortable. You can see it. He's slowly getting more comfortable, and more videos are coming out from Chris. It's good to see.
That's right. Yeah, it's a lot different here because college players play usually twice a week. Sometimes these tournaments are different. NBA players, sometimes they play those 4 games in 5 nights. So it's
5 nights. Yeah, the grind's a little different.
The grind can be different there, no doubt. Chris, what do you got over on the Tony's YouTube channel and your plans for the week?
Today I've got 3 videos for you for the NBA Cup, and then the rest of the week I'll be covering NBA as it comes. I'll try to get more than 1 video out there. The 3 I've got today for the NBA Cup go a little bit more in depth on the picks that I gave today on those. So yeah, that's the plans for the week is to keep pumping out the NBA.
Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications, be notified when we drop these live shows, and check out all the great content from our cappers at Tony Spix YouTube channel. A lot up there. That's going to do it for the show. Before we go, anybody have anything in closing before we go?
Hey, get it. Have a big day.
Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely excited. Hey, take the Oilers. They're going to kick the crap out of the Islanders.
There you go. From Ron on the Oilers tonight. That's going to do it for the show. Well, wave, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow live here, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time with the Tony Spix Morning Show. Have a good one.